Hey guys, Eric and Jim here to talk about this huge new trailer for Captain America: Civil War. There's so much to discuss, and
There's so much. Ooh,
not
look
just
at that.
Spider-Man.
A cold place.
A cold
We're
place.
thinking it's probably Russia because if you go back,
Yeah, yeah.
that patch, we looked it up, people, that's Russian military right there on his arm. Uh, and
Here we
wait for
go.
the doors, wait
There's
for it.
there's a logo there.
Yeah,
It's not clear, and so we don't want to say 100%, but we think that might
looks,
be the Hydra
it does
logo.
look like Hydra. Also, that's a pretty crappy guard job if you can't even face forward. You got to keep your eyes turned towards the wall. Now, okay, so this is interesting. Winter Soldier and the chronology of his story in this, the chronology of his whole arc in this story is curious. Here he is in some sort of chamber,
We believe in this inside this Russian prison.
and notice his upper arm there on the left side of the screen is bare.
Yeah. And we only bring
And
that up because he'll be dressed very differently later, making us think that there's some multiple prisons
yeah,
involved.
how many times does
Or
he possibly get captured in this? Is he sort of like the damsel in distress of this movie?
yeah, he is an important part of this movie, that's for
Okay,
sure.
now right
Oh
there,
yeah, let's
actually,
go back
let's go.
there.
Now we're going to notice a lot of these chambers throughout these sort of basically like stasis cryo chamber things,
Yeah.
prison cells almost.
And we know that's what we just saw Bucky in, but he's not the only one that we're going to be seeing in
Oh, did
those.
you notice that the was that the Black Panther logo right there? Actually, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Right there.
Yeah, yeah, they like to
Yeah.
do that, sneak in little bits of the characters involved in these in these movies. And yeah, so obviously here we're doing it's kind of it's interesting what they're doing here, which is building upon all the chaos that happened in the Marvel movies up till
We
now.
see the body counts there on the side. We have Manhattan, the Battle of Manhattan,
Yeah.
and then DC and Winter Soldier. Which, all right, come on, they crashed it in the ocean. They were trying to
Right,
be
right.
safe, and then of course Sokovia.
Which biggest body count of the
Yeah.
three sort of mega events they show here.
Even though what's funny is, oh, actually, I like that Scarlet Witch is reacting to that because yes, it's her home country, but also spoiler, remembering the death of her brother Quicksilver,
Right.
and clearly enough time has passed now that Cap has some feelings for her. She's now a full member of the team.
So I'll be mentioning I did a set visit to Civil War almost a year ago, and they did say I think it does pick up about a year later. The new Avengers have been Avengers for about a year at this
William
point.
Hurt back as General Thaddeus Ross, who now is Secretary of State, we found out,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the United States. Okay, so here, let's go back. That is a UN logo on that podium.
Hmm.
And so this is an attack on the UN that we're thinking is going to get blamed on the Winter Soldier.
Whether he did it or not, yeah.
And we're not in Wakanda. I believe we're in Nigeria, right?
Well, and we should see. Yeah. So again, so there is Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, but they did say on the set visit they did imply that we will not be in Wakanda in this movie, and so yeah, we don't think this happens in Wakanda, but he's present for it, and so it will
And
definitely sort
clearly
of
motivated to strike back
yeah,
after this. Yeah.
this will have an impact going forward. Iron Man has new armor because he's got to.
We got toys to sell, yo.
Yes, got to add to my Hot Toys collection. And yeah, okay, this is so here's where we're getting our look at the other big prison in this
Yeah.
movie. And this one comes straight out of Marvel Comics, which it looks like this is the MCU version of the Raft.
Look at that.
First introduced in New Avengers #1, which was like the big reboot of Avengers that added Wolverine and Spider-Man in the comics to the team. And so yeah, this is kind of a cool, very big version of it we're getting in the movie
We
here.
see some more cells here.
Yeah.
And the raft is, it's basically what their
They're
giant supervillain prison.
supervillain prison, right?
So
But
that's
we
awesome.
wonder, so they're introducing it in the context of Civil War, makes you wonder, okay, is this where they're going to be ending up having to, or maybe Tony's concerned they'll have to lock up their friends, if these people are fighting them.
Well,
And
that's not a very friendly thing to do, Eric.
and maybe at some point we will see some people locked up in there.
Let's see here. We got coming up.
Okay, so here's we got glimpses of this in the last trailer, but this big sort of chase with Black Panther going after Bucky. It's interesting the Cap is there at least for part of it.
We just see how damn fast Panther is.
Yeah.
Now we're assuming that this could be him possibly chasing him after the attack.
Right. I don't know if it's immediately after, but yeah, probably around that. I will mention this is a pretty cool move we see here. And one thing they really stressed on the set visit, and I got to see the stunt double for Black Panther in costume, and they really pushed the sort of feline panther aspect when he fights. He pounces.
Yeah, just the way he's running alone, and we saw his talons basically to grab the motorcycle wheel.
Yep. And now this was in the Super Bowl ad, right? Some of this. And but definitely a big moment.
I mean,
because,
come on, he shoots him in the face, man.
Yeah, Bucky's not messing around. He just goes for it. If it weren't for those Stark classes,
Did you get a hell of a concussion too from that thing?
Not if there's Stark tech, man.
All right, let's see.
Okay, so we were talking here. We think this is creative editing.
Yeah.
He's probably inside. He's not aiming out. We're pretty sure in this part. Or if he is, he's not aiming at War Machine. You know,
because that looks a hell of a lot more like a missile getting you than a bullet. I mean,
yeah.
And of course, yeah, War Machine. Rhodey, we don't think he dies in this movie.
It doesn't. Yeah, it would be weird to me to show his death scene just kind of in the middle of the trailer like that if you weren't going to actually say Rhodey's dead.
Yeah.
I do think, of course, he's seriously hurt, and that will only piss Tony
now,
off.
we also, yes, this looks like it happens after the airport battle because we can see in the background there smoke, and we're going to see the airport battle in Germany play out starting here. That's in German writing.
There's a lot of glimpses of that, which is what the Russos referred to as the splash page of the movie. Now, let's talk about these guys because we're not sure quite who they are or who they work for. But we have some theories.
I mean, we see that IFID security sign, and they'll pop up again in a little bit. But could they be Crossbones mercenaries? Are they Hydra agents?
Right. Because we know Crossbones is the movie. It sounds like the opening of the movie is going to be sort of a new Avengers mission taking down Crossbones. And we're guessing this is all part of that.
But I think it's weird that if they go out on a mission that they're all in street clothes. Well, except for Cap.
Cap's. I think it'll be that thing where like some of them are undercover, and then it's like send in the team. Now, I will say here, you get this moment of conflict between Natasha and Tony, even though she is on Tony's side. A lot of fans have debated that. Why would she be on Tony's side? I mean, she's so close with Steve. She's even closer with Clint. So how does she end up on Tony's side? And they did say on the set visit that she has maybe one of the most difficult and sort of it's a big decision for her in the movie whose side to be on, and we'll see her kind of go through that.
I think she's also, too, she's a survivor, and I think she sees the writing on the wall here.
Well, they also say that she's never had to make a decision like this. She's been a spy up till now, but this time she'll really have to.
Now, this is interesting. Again, creative editing. He's in someone's kitchen here, and there's charts and graphs and stuff in the background.
This is back in the sort of...
That's back in the prison.
The Russian prison, yeah.
But... you look there, is he at Hawkeye's home or maybe Peter Parker's later on?
Because we've heard that Aunt May, Marissa Tomei, is in this movie. But yeah, this is a funny creative editing thing here because, it's like kitchen. They're in a here's Steve in a kitchen.
You want some waffles? No, I want to hit you.
Here they are in a Russian prison, but at this point, Iron Man has his helmet on in this shot.
And then Winter Soldier, we were talking earlier about the missing section of his sleeve. We thought, oh, is this the same prison? But no. Because he's got a full sleeve.
Well, we think it's the same prison, maybe, but they return to it, at some point. Bucky's a prisoner there. Does he get out? And then for some reason they have to go back because we don't know who the hell that is in that chamber there.
Yeah.
And it does raise the question of, is it anyone specific? Is it an Easter egg character, or is it just the idea that Russia's locking up, some bad guys?
Could it be Bruce Banner?
Could it be Bruce Banner? Again, creative editing because he had his helmet on in the last shot, but then it makes it look like he's, helmeting on here to fight him. And, plenty of mayhem here. I will talk about, you get, again, a look at the Panther-Bucky battle. We once again wonder, is Bucky captured at this point? But again, how many times can Bucky be captured? But this is a big reveal here. Bulletproof armor.
And also, this appears to be probably after the motorcycle chase, or maybe it leads up to it. But I just want to point out, I was wrong. Those weren't charts on the wall of that kitchen. They were actually newspapers.
Okay.
So, just so you guys know.
If it is Aunt May's kitchen, she's not keeping... there's no conspiracy theory like in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. But bulletproof costume, vibranium, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe bet.
His home country. I love the look of this costume.
Everyone on set talked about, including Chadwick Boseman, he has the most uncomfortable costume of them all. It's so hot. Physically, it just is hell to be in.
They're filming in Atlanta. They're not in Germany.
It was like 110 degrees, but it looks so cool.
It does. It was worth every moment of pain. There they are again in Germany. Now we see this airport getting basically destroyed, and of course the big showdown between all the heroes.
Yeah.
And then coming up here,
Now this is a big moment, more it's a bigger moment from the because of the comic books because we're not there yet, at least off of Age of Ultron, for any sort of romantic relationship between Scarlet Witch and Vision. But knowing that in the comics that's what their bond is, and wondering that this movie might play into that a little bit, which they've implied
and
it
then
will.
we think, is that Hawkeye who's been knocked out down there at the bottom?
Right, and again, Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch are on the same side, so maybe did Vision stop Hawkeye, and
Yeah.
then Scarlet Witch at this point confronts him, and this is inside Avengers headquarters, so this is not the airport battle. This is another skirmish we're seeing between them, and I'm not sure what the giant Jenga or what that is in the corner, but we'll find out. Again, okay, so this is more at the airport, but it's also a super fanboy moment from the comics.
This is so awesome.
This is a great reveal here.
Ant-Man.
Yeah. There's a famous cover that has Ant-Man on the end of one of Hawkeye's arrows, and so this is their homage. It's a little bit different. He's coming out of an exploding arrow.
We don't actually see Paul Rudd himself, though, really.
Not in this trailer. We've
Yeah.
seen him in other stuff.
It's kind of funny, given how successful that film
Yeah,
was.
yeah, but maybe it's because that character's so light, they're a little sure
Yeah.
how to play it. But it is worth noting, he manages to get through the hand of Iron Man and land on Iron Man's armor. I theorize maybe to get inside the armor and stop him. In the comic books.
A la Falcon.
Yeah, and Ant-Man was once used in the comics to help Iron Man when he was stuck in his armor by going inside it, and so this could be kind of a reverse of that, where he's
And we
trying to
have
stop him.
Frank Grillo as back as Crossbones.
Yep, yeah, now fully costumed up with
That's
some
so cool looking.
big gauntlets there.
I know.
Yeah, that's pretty. Again, we're guessing this is all connected to the stuff we saw with those soldiers. This is probably near the beginning of the movie.
Which country do we think they're in here? Is this supposed to be?
I don't know, but it does sound like something goes terribly wrong that is going to lead to this big meeting about what should be.
This
the
might be
results.
Nigeria, actually. I think we saw something.
They said that the movie will begin with their version of what they called the Stamford Incident in the Civil War comics.
Interesting.
But something else will go wrong. It won't be Connecticut. And cool callback here.
Yeah, to First Avenger.
Yeah,
He's
to the
fighting the bully.
first Captain America, which is funny because he's saying a line he said to bullies in Captain America. So they talked a lot about how they don't want Tony to be seen as the straight up villain. In the comic books, he pretty much was. But Cap's pretty much treating him like the bully who needs to be stepped up to here by saying that line. Let's see, and then more. This is the one-on-one skirmish. You just gotta hurt your hand, Cap, to hit him in the armored face. There.
Ow.
I hope he didn't just break his hand.
Let's see here. Okay, this
All
is
right.
great. Just the fact that we have kind of the glory team shot here.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of kicking in, and we see her fly. We see Scarlet Witch fly.
She starts to take flight. So this was the moment I was on set for, along with a little bit of other fighting stuff.
You lucky.
Seeing the
SOB.
6 of them running forward, it was amazingly cool on a sort of geek out level. Of course, it was in Atlanta, and there was a bunch of green screen and just a few props for the airport. So it is funny to be like, oh, look at that giant airport they're in.
Plus humidity.
Yeah, plus humidity. But seeing them all costumed up was definitely, as someone who's read Marvel Comics his whole life, that was a huge moment. But she didn't take flight in front of us. And then, look at Team Iron Man coming forward. And again, this is what I was calling the splash page. That's the Russo's term.
Right.
The double page spread. This is also the sequence that was shot with IMAX cameras. So this is, and it sounds like this is the centerpiece of the movie. This is not the concluding battle, I don't think.
So
I think
more
this
of a
is
midpoint.
more of a midpoint because they also
they have 3 flyers there too, though. That's not fair.
Yeah, they also implied that everyone won't stay in the fight till the end. Some people might get disillusioned and drop out before the end. But right now, this is when all 11. Did I say 11 of them? Were in the
Well, we
fight?
do see War Machine get taken out after the sequence.
But no, there is a 12th. With
Under Ruse reference.
with the big moment. We're not going to go. Yeah, let's talk. We have a whole other rewind just about Spider-Man's costume, but we want to talk a little bit more about it here because we didn't talk. We had still images for the other one. There is a good look at
web shooters.
the web shooters. Yeah.
And then also, can we make out at one point here? I think we make out the logo on his back too. Coming up.
Yeah. You can see the red logo a little bit. Where did I go?
Let's go forward. Actually, I think. Yeah.
Here, come on, Spidey, flip your thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. There he is. Yeah. Yeah, there
Oh,
we go.
nice.
Yeah, so you got the classic red logo there.
That's
You
so
actually see a
great.
little bit more. There's actually also an extra red stripe. I could do without, again, the sort of busyness of the
Yeah.
costume. You see in between the shoulders, there's that sort of extra little section there where they put more blue, it looks like, and then another red stripe.
Yeah, our other costumery one, we really do kind of go to town on all the little bits. But um, I do think it's great in this sequence here that we hear just how young he is. He
Yeah,
really does sound like a kid, and he's supposed to be what, like 15 or
yeah,
something?
yeah. So he's a kid in like this world, and I have a feeling we'll see him kind of get a bit over his head very
Yeah.
quickly. But yeah, what a way to end what was already a huge trailer.
Oh my God. Well, thanks for watching. For all things Marvel, Captain America: Civil War, Spider-Man, keep it here on IGN.